Early in the 2016 Grand National Cross Country season, Walker Fowler was helping himself to a heaping portion of championship points. But Adam McGill began to cook up a special recipe in mid-season and now has his sights set on one final meal, the #1 plate. Snowshoe is next. Who will taste victory? Well, this is the biggest race of the year. The AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series continues. It's the Snowshoe GNCC presented by AMSOIL. Jason Wygant here to give you the call, but I'm high and dry. Unlike these fans, the famous mud fleas of West Virginia are ready to see bikes and ATVs try to tackle the ski slopes of Snowshoe. I'll show you how we got here. This is round 8, the Dunlop Tomahawk GNCC. A few weeks ago in upstate New York, our previous round, Chris Borich off to the early lead. Still trying to get into victory lane for the first time this year. He is the winningest GNCC rider ever. Walker Fowler gets in front. Fowler needs a win here as Adam McGill has been breathing down his neck in the title chase. This time he let everyone breathe his dust. This will make 2 victories in a row for Fowler after McGill had hung 3 straight on the board. And big news with Borich finishing second and splitting Fowler and McGill. So it helps Fowler open up a bit of a points lead as we head to Snowshoe today, but we have seen this track break hearts and equipment, and Fowler knows it.
The 8 races before Snowshoe are great and cool and everything is perfect. Snowshoe's a completely different animal. Throw out everything you know about racing and you're tackling a whole new beast, basically. So we're just going to try to be consistent for sure.
See all those fans down there in the mud holes and up here at the start. They know who they're pulling for. It's West Virginia's own Adam McGill, and he has had great success at this race and looking for more today.
This is the hill that McGill built for sure. I mean, we got 3 wins here. We would have won it last year, but there was a miscommunication, I guess, between the scoring towers and the finish line, and with the rainstorm that went by, they missed us. So went out again and just buried that Honda in one of these mud holes. And we essentially had a rainstorm last night coming here is what we did last year during the race. So it's definitely it's one place you'll never forget when you race. You always remember Snowshoe. You remember the race. You remember the atmosphere. You remember everything that goes on at this place. It's Blackwater in the 2000s, man. I mean, it's for sure. It's a little more civilized. It's one of the toughest tracks in the series for sure.
Yes, and this is the civilized part, starting on the paved road in the middle of the ski resort village. But it's going to change in a hurry once we roll. And we're underway at Snowshoe for 2016, and Chris Borich going to lead the riders into the first turn. Now, a totally different start setup here. We start the riders in groups of 5 in order of the overall point standings. We normally just have each class take off land rush style. McGill up to second. Riders in the second row will have a 30-second time adjustment because they will take off 30 seconds later. Here we go. These are the riders ranked 6 through 10 in the series standings, and that is irregardless of what class they're in. So today could be a huge day for some of the young guns of the XC2 Pro-Am division to have a shot at an overall podium, as if we needed anything else to mix this race up even further. Should give you the whole shot here from Borich, and a lot of these riders will actually back it down a little bit because on that paved road you can wear the tires out. Yeah, you can gain a position or 2 if you get it right, but the track is so undulating, you're going to give up positions but making mistakes out of the woods if you don't have traction. So you don't see the all-out gang rush that you normally do off the start. And look, McGill has already turned a second-place start into the lead, and he is so lethal on this terrain. No one, I believe, carries momentum through the rough stuff like McGill does. He just rides so loose on the machine. And there it is, Fowler up to second. Now, normally the bogs are the most difficult portion of this track, but this year, almost the entire track is a mud bog. Even on these hillsides, the track is pretty wet. We have had record rains and very dangerous flooding in the area. Still able to put this race on. Luckily, the elevation in the hillsides allowed us to continue to race, but this is going to be the wettest and wildest Snowshoe yet. You combine that with the elevation change, the rocks, the tree roots. It's going to be a true test. And you heard McGill alluding to the Blackwater. That was the original GNCC that was about an hour away from here in Davis, West Virginia. And the fact that the fans are in the woods to get involved here gives it a true Blackwater-style atmosphere as well. Everyone just trying to take position. Now, normally in a GNCC, you don't see everyone go all out on the first lap, but I think you're going to see an even more restrained opening lap. Fowler's back here in second. I think he's happy with that for now. Boric third. But so much of this race comes down to those bogs deep down in there, and I cannot wait to see what condition they're in. Jared McClure going by in the 3. Cole Richardson in the 733. These guys are going to face some epic conditions due to all the rain we have had in the area leading up to this race. And now we're into the forest. Look at those tree roots. Look at how tight this track is. And there's boulders thrown in for good measure as well. And everyone just trying to stay in contention. Yeah, not much passing going to go on through here. But this is the section that can lead to your undoing. We've seen a lot of chains break or derail when you get through there. Also can damage the brakes. Listen to the crowd. They got what they want, which is McGill out front. Yeah, McGill's Hill. Fowler in second. Now what's interesting is the ski village is at the top of the mountain here. At a lot of ski resorts, it's at the bottom. You can see how the terrain drops off. So the track actually goes down on the west side into these bogs, comes back up to the finish, then will drop off on the east side. So it's considered laps, but they really split the lap in half in the village. And now we're down into the tough stuff. And look at the fans. Pumped on Adam McGill. And the really unique thing, these mud fleas, as they call themselves, it is legal for them to get involved. If any of these riders get stuck, they'll come to the rescue if they want to.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Here at Rocky Mountain ATV MC, our goal has always been to get you the best price and provide quality service. Now, we're giving you one more reason to shop with Rocky Mountain. We call it Quick Cash. It's simple to get. Just place an order with a qualifying Quick Cash item and get cash to spend on your next order. Try it out today. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Maxxis Tires.
The Andersons discovered life is easier with an Outlaw RV. The Outlaw is a complete home on wheels with a multifunctional garage. Getting on the road has never been quicker. The Outlaw is made to fit the lifestyle of today's active families. So stop roughing it and start enjoying your weekends. Find the Thor Motor Coach Outlaw that fits your needs at GarageRVs.com today.
The GNCC series on the NBC Sports Network is brought to you by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Maxxis Tires. Keeps you riding to your maximum potential.
Adam McGill continues to lead the way. It's the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series presented by Maxxis. It's by far the toughest race of the year. Bryson Neal climbing up to second on the Coastal Racing Machine. He has been so strong this year, and he has not tailed off at all. Jared McClure back by ATVRiders.com, and the Ampro NFAB Yamaha of Cole Richardson. Maxxis back Suzuki of Chris Boric, and then Walker Fowler, who was second, now back to sixth. And that's what we've theorized this entire race. It's really not about speed. It's about minimizing the damage on the very difficult portions of this track. I don't don't think Fowler got straight past by 4 other riders. That must have been an error. It's so easy to get stuck and really hard to figure out where the pace is. How hard do you push it? It's a race. It's a 2-hour event. The fastest rider to the finish wins, but one mistake can end your day on this track in a hurry. It's so easy to get stuck here. We hit the big incline. Almost 1,000 feet of elevation in this one section alone. McGill back by CST, Induction Solutions, DeRisi Racing, Tire Blocks, LSR, and SG. I think that's Richardson there giving you an idea of just how difficult this climb is. Got that shale rock, really hard to get traction. McGill keeps rolling as they cross some of the gravel roads that connect the various resort areas here. And what's another cool thing about this race, you can actually hang out and stay in some of the ski condos, and even a lot of the riders will pit out of those. So it's totally unique to go racing at a ski resort compared to the private land we have at most races. And also unique, the pit stops are right here on the paved roads and the parking lots. And here's McGill pulling in. All systems go. Fresh goggles, you're gonna need those in the mud. And a full tank of fuel. And some water as well. Oh, almost bumping and banging with McClure, who pulls in. And McGill with the 3 victories here is probably the favorite, but I would not, oh, and they're stacking up in the pits again. I would not count out McClure. He won this race a year ago, and that's no coincidence as you watch Boric in the pits. McClure is very good on this type of terrain and very consistent. They call him the sneaky snake. He just kind of hangs out, stays in contention, and never makes the big error. And often that leads to victory on a track like this. McGill is certainly fast, there's no doubt about it. But I don't think the feast or famine game works better for anybody better than McClure, who is able to avoid a lot of the big pitfalls. So we're going to see the tortoise versus the hairstyle today. Great job, though, by Bryson Neal staying in contention. Cole Richardson, those 2 youngsters would love to get victories today. Boric still right there. Staying right there, really the key. That is what led McClure to victory in last year's race, so don't count anyone in this field out of it. Here's McClure.
It'd be awesome to back up another snowshoe. I mean, everybody told me, like, man, you one of the best races you could win, and I don't know what it is about this place, I mean, it's a beautiful place, I guess, and, to come away with it going in the summer break, I mean, it'd be huge. I could use a win, I'm due, I've been having a pretty rough year, a couple ups and downs, but, the program's solid. It's just, having everything fall into place tomorrow and, being smart and just doing what I do here.
And McClure out of Maryland, they are not strangers to rocky terrain. Although everyone a little bit is stranger to a hay bale being knocked onto the center of the track. You don't see these types of things at GNCCs often. Got to mark the course to figure out where we go around the ski resort. No changes in the running order early, but those big bog holes are going to strike at some point, so stay with us.
At Rocky Mountain ATV MC, we want to help increase rider participation at your next race, rally, or club event with our free Race Gas program. Join Race Gas, and every rider that signs up for your event or club gets a free $10 gift card to Rocky Mountain ATV MC. It's that simple. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
When it comes to protecting your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance truck owners demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond fortification it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
CST Tires.
Battle is on here at the AMSOIL Snowshoe GNCC. Oh, and down hard. That's a lap rider, and he's holding up your leader, Adam McGill. I'd say that cost McGill about half of the gap that he had. Then you got Bryson Neal coming through, and now he has got problems behind the lap traffic. Everyone getting creative with their lines. Going all the way up in the woods, that's Cole Richardson. Oh, almost throws it away himself, but it's gonna pay off. He's up to second, and the chaos starts to reign at Snowshoe. And rain is the operative term. I don't think that section would have been as difficult in previous years. And riders starting to get desperate now. Richardson off to the side of the track, bumped into by his teammate Fowler, who's trying to get aggressive and make moves. There's only one good line in the middle of that hill, and they were all fighting for it. Chris Boric right there as well. Jared McClure's been shuffled back to 5th, but you can see they're all one mistake away from losing big chunks of real estate, except for Adam McGill. Let's take you through this section again first. Again, that's a lap rider up front. So many rocks and boulders out there, knocks the rider down. Lucky actually that McGill was a little closer and didn't run right into him. Now another lap rider gets clipped into a tree. It's actually Bryson Neal who's stuck behind him, so he's the one that had the worst end of this situation. He's jammed up. The Yamaha boys, they quickly carve a path off to the rider's left, Richardson and Fowler, and make up a bunch of ground. There's a reason that wasn't the main race trail. You saw the difficulty they had getting back onto the track once they carved that new line. It helped them get around lap traffic, but they almost looped out and then lost traction. And actually, it looks like McGill's lead is larger than it was due to that entire exchange. He got held up by a down lap rider, but actually pulled away because it worked out even worse for everyone else. So many surprises in store. Yes, we're back at the top of the course in the middle in the ski village, which is used for the pit lane. And you can see these riders getting really aggressive with each other now. But you have to be careful through these tight wood sections. This is definitely you cannot win it, but you can lose it. You tag one of these trees or a rock or tree root wrong, and your day can be over in a hurry. Let's try to pick up who is second with that big battle between Fowler and Richardson on the NFAB Am-Pro Yamahas. That's one of them, Richardson. In second, rookie in the pro class, dominated the XC2 championship a year ago. He has Fowler behind him. Richardson has yet to win one of these races. There's Bryson Neal. He has climbed to the back of that group, so trying to make up for the ground he lost when the lap rider had trouble. I'm impressed with what Richardson has done. Started the year off a little bit under par because of an illness. He has figured out some of the health problems. He's clearly gotten stronger over the last few races. Richardson was 4th at our previous event in New York, which ties his season's best. 2 laps to go for McGill, who has led nearly this entire race. And everyone back here is just praying for the mistake that'll get them back into it. And it has certainly happened before on this track. Cole Richardson, could he be in position to capitalize and get his first career win? Fowler, well, he just wants the points, doesn't want McGill to make up too much ground on him. And the always cagey Chris Boric and Jared McClure sit there in 4th and 5th. And there's Bryson Neal. Oh, he was closing in on McGill, had a shot at it. And that lap rider cost him dearly. Oh, and more riders getting bogged down. That is McGill cutting from one side of the track to the other. And these are the bogs. This is where it could all change in one instant if you get stuck through here. The fans trying to help. That's Richardson. That is the 5 going a totally different line. 5 is Bryson Neal, right through the center of it all. And the fans down here, the Mudfleas, are absolutely loving this. What makes it so difficult, see those boulders there on the right side? Well, this entire course is like that, but you can't see them. You're just picking your way through. Some riders equate it to riding over concrete blocks, but it's so hard to figure out how to avoid them when a track is muddy like this. And this ground is so saturated, it's almost like natural springs. If you dig down too deep, you'll actually unlock more water that gets stuck in this terrain and under the rocks. Randy Hawkins there on the right side, team manager for Fowler and Richardson, trying to figure out the best line and some advice for his guys. But right now, Adam McGill's right where he wants to be, in the number 1 spot. But you can see the Yamaha people. They are pointing Richardson forward and saying, 1 lap to go, you're right there in second. It's going to be a fantastic race to the finish today in West Virginia.
As riders and racers, we understand the need to get quality parts, apparel, and accessories fast. We have the horsepower of multiple warehouses to make sure your gear, OEM parts, or accessories make it to your door quickly. Check out our easy-to-use website and experience customer service that takes the whole shot. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
You smell it, you feel it, you can taste it in the air. Speed, man. Full wide open. Blast. I didn't really like high school too much. Too booky, too take notes, learn this, and that's it. Got WyoTech. They have full-size motorcycles. The feeling of taking them apart every day, putting them back together. You can't explain it. Everything I learned applies to now. Seeing your motorcycle that you put together right around the track at 180 miles an hour, oh, definitely rewarding. My name's Mike. My school's WyoTech.
Get on the fast track to a career. Turn pro at WyoTech.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Maxxis Tires.
The GNCC series on the NBC Sports Network is brought to you by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. Rocky Mountain ATV-MC, get ready. And by Maxxis Tires. Keeps you riding to your maximum potential.
Adam McGill leading the way and pulling away just a tad from where we were before the break. Cole Richardson trying to keep the heat on. The rookie hoping to score his first ever overall GNCC win. It's another lap rider coming through here. Waiting on third. Looks like I think Walker Fowler, Bryson Neal, and Chris Board still in the hunt. You cannot count out Jared McClure, who you know is lurking with this group as well. McGill trying to bring it home. And it's still Richardson looking to make up ground. Every time we see them, they're about equal, so those bogs could make all the difference. Fowler still in third. Board's right with him, and Neal. So McClure must have made a mistake. We had him up in second and third at one point in this race, and now you see him back to sixth on the ATVRiders.com Honda, but he knows as well as anyone this race can fall into your hands late. And look at this line selection. These guys are way off the main track, just trying to find a short line. You're allowed to basically stay within 25 feet of the course. And what is that? A fist in the air for second place rider Cole Richardson. I'm not sure what he's trying to signal there. You remember Richardson has had some illness problems earlier this year that sapped him of his energy late. We'll take a look at this again. See him, he's the rider in the center of your screen now, and putting his fist up. I don't know if he's telling something maybe to his teammate Fowler, who is third, or maybe he wants to get on the gas. He's gonna need to because, oh, it is Fowler up to second. I was going to say McGill is trying to get away. I have to wonder if maybe Richardson was getting tired and he said to his teammate Fowler, go and have it and try to run for the win, and Fowler is going for it. Richardson is able to hold on to third. He's going to have to deal with Neal, who's gone around Boric. So two of the young guns of GNCC Racing going to fight for the final podium spot. And Boric, the multi-time champ and all-time GNCC race winner, who has always had his trouble actually here at Snowshoe. He'd like to get around those kids and put it on the box today also. Got to be impressed with what we have seen McGill throw down today. He has avoided the big mistakes, and that's why no one has been able to really put any pressure on him. As the Yamaha boys come through here in formation, Fowler and Richardson just trying to get some sort of traction on these rocks. And the hill climb's always a lot steeper than they appear on TV cameras. Now they get onto some flat ground and can wind it out. But we are headed to pay dirt and headed to daylight and headed to what could be a 4th time in victory lane at Snowshoe. A good run by Walker Fowler in second, but it's probably not going to be enough. Although he'll be happy that he did not give up a ton of points on a track that could easily lead to a did not finish. Pulling away from his teammate Richardson down the stretch. But if you're Cole, as a rookie, you'll be happy to have your first ever top 3 overall in the XC1 Pro class. Checkered flag is out, and McGill even has time to celebrate and push it backwards across the line. Are you kidding me? And in Grant style, like usual, Adam McGill pulls off the win. And a little celebration as well for Fowler. These two have raced each other a lot, and they remain great sportsmen about it. And Richardson is going to take third, finally up on the podium. Here are your Rocky Mountain ATV MC results. Boric and Neal round out the top 5. And now your Max's post-race interview with a very happy winner.
Oh man, this is like being on a 30-week hunger binge and you get to finally eat some pizza, man. I mean, it's been way too long. I knew we could do it. My dad said we can do it. For sure, let's take this RG Motorsports Honda and just burn this thing down up here tonight. Woo!
That's the other great thing about a race in the ski village. You can party all night long. Plenty of places for that. Here's our AMSOIL race recap. Early lead for Chris Boric, but it didn't last long. By the time they were in the woods, McGill was out front. He rode the track like it was his backyard. Yeah, he's from West Virginia, but he doesn't own the Snowshoe Ski Resort. Looked like it, though. And behind him, it's shuffle. You had Fowler. Fowler made a mistake. Then a lap rider makes a mistake in front of McGill. That slows him. Now in the second place is Bryson Neal, but he would get held up even worse, opening the door for not just Fowler, but his teammate, Cole Richardson, who get pretty creative with the lines here. Watch him duck to the right side of the screen and get around. And for a while, it looked like Richardson would maybe make the move on McGill. Couldn't make it happen. McGill takes the win, but Richardson happy with third.
Yeah, you know, I was really upset with how the beginning of the season went, and we got back to the old program and figured out a camelback wasn't my style. So, you know, getting rid of the camelback, you know, all the little things I changed coming into this year, and went back to whatever worked last year, and we're right here. So made a mistake, was actually battling with McGill for the lead, and made a mistake the last lap. Walker got around me, and luckily that was it, and just put my head down from there and just kept charging forward. So it's a good way to go into summer break. Definitely needed it.
Here's a Rocky Mountain ATV MC point standings. Fowler maintains nearly a full race lead over McGill in the standings, and I believe that was really the ultimate goal for him today. Just don't give up much ground here at McGill Hill. Didn't really matter what type of obstacles were thrown at Adam. He takes the win. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for joining us for the Snowshoe GNCC.